Greetings, Kindred. I am Voivode Maquette, and welcome back to our World of Darkness and another episode of the Blood Sorcery playlist on Level by Level. Today we're going to be going over the Level 2 discipline of Extinguish Vitae. This discipline is terrifying. This is one of the reasons why the Kindred community as a whole should be afraid of the Tremere, or the Banu Hakim in general, since they both practice this power. The book states the user can intentionally remove the unlife-giving properties of some of the blood in another vampire, stoking their hunger as the victim's inner reserves curdle into impotence. You make the blood diluted. That's horrible. It also is very reminiscent of blood to water in the old Path of Neptune's Might for Thaumaturgy in earlier editions. Being able to control a Kindred's hunger level is probably one of the most terrifying gifts that anyone should ever have access to. And this is only a level 2 power on this one. I understand that a lot of people are like, oh, I miss being able to like throw fireballs at level 2 and stuff like that. But Lure of Flames, the way that it was before, and we will get to Lure of Flames later on in this playlist, was just a little too... It's overpowered. Being able to create any type of fire at basic levels of blood sorcery is just too much. It really just was. But being able to extinguish the unlife-giving properties, as it says, is just disturbing when you consider what you're playing. The cost is 1 rouse check. So for the cost of waking up, for the cost of a single cup of coffee. No, but 1 rouse check is not much when you're considering the fact that you are controlling the hunger level of another player. The dice pools are intelligence plus blood sorcery versus stamina plus composure. So their ability to physically hold themselves together, plus their ability to socially hold themselves together, is what's going to be their main defense. The system states, the user rolls a contest of intelligence plus blood sorcery versus stamina plus composure of a target vampire in line of sight while concentrating for a turn and gesturing subtly. A win increases the target's hunger by 1, while a critical win increases it by 2. The victim can discern who afflicts them if they can see the user while making an intelligence plus occult versus wits plus subterfuge roll. So they can tell that you're doing this to them. First off, I want to point off the fact that you don't even have to physically touch the person. They have to be within line of sight. If this is a highly full room, such as an Elysium, which you should never do, mind you, the difficulty on this one should actually be changed around depending on the storytellers, like whether or not the user has a cover or not. But the idea that the intelligence plus occult versus the wits plus subterfuge of the caster, which means that the person who's the victim on this one needs to have a good occult roll. And since 5th edition came out, I've noticed less and less people just taking occult. I don't know if that's just my games or not, but like in the past, everybody had occult. For one reason or another. You had like a Toreador who was a cult leader or something like that, or some Ventrue who just had morbid curiosities. There was just always some reason for your character to take occult, and now I've noticed people are putting the ability points, the skill points, into much more useful areas. The duration is NA. Again, this is one of those things where you use it, and if you win, they get hungrier. If you win a lot, they get really hungrier, considering a critical. So, has this ever been used on you? Have you ever been a victim of this kind of power, where someone is just subtly making occult gestures in the background and whispering to themselves, and then just suddenly you feel your beast become just overwhelmingly, ravagingly hungry? I am Voivode Maquette. This is our World of Darkness, and we have just gone over Extinguish Vitae, level by level playlist for Blood Sorcery. Class dismissed.